If you live in Ireland and you are in early stages of your chess journey, this is a video for you. In this video, I'm going to tell you where to find the basic data and how to navigate the Irish chess landscape. I'm going to talk about chess clubs, chess tournaments, how do you find them, how do you register for them, and we'll tell you also a little bit about the Irish Chess Union rating. This video goes well alongside another one that I just published, which is about the key milestones of becoming a chess player. The links you can find at the end and in the video description. Main information board of everything chess in Ireland is the website of Irish Chess Union. It has a very short and a very cool name, ICU.ie. It is the one go-to place of everything chess, like chess clubs, chess tournaments, chess rating in Ireland. People see differently whether chess is a sport, and funding of chess in a certain country depends on that definition. To cut it short, in Ireland it is not considered a sport and there is no funding from the government. That means that there is not a lot of money around chess, and you can see it as a downside. But also there is a significant benefit. You will only find enthusiasts and people who genuinely love chess in Irish chess. ICU website is a very good example of their good work. It is clear and intuitive and tells players everything they need to know. Maybe it is a little bit less clear for the beginners, but that is why you have this video. How do you find a chess club in Ireland in your area? On ICU.ie website. There is a tab called Clubs, and there you can find all the necessary data. You can filter them by province, county, city, even club's name if you know that one. You can also check whether they have a junior section, because there is a drop-down menu under any. You can find how many members do they have and their contact data like name, phone number and website address if they have one. There is also an important piece around club night timings. Most clubs have a club night once a week and you can see when it is. It is possible to walk in, but I would recommend that you call them first to avoid any surprises, like potential tournaments you are not eligible for or club matches that you can't participate in. How do you find tournaments in Ireland that you can play? On ICU.ie website there is a tab called Calendar. If you browse away by any chance, go to Home and then to Calendar. In tournaments you can find a few things. Just to avoid confusion, I'll tell you what else apart from tournaments is also there. There are some international events that Irish players are participating in. There are also some trainings and courses and occasionally ICU AGM. But most of the events you can find in the calendar are Irish-based tournaments. 4 things you are interested in when you look at those tournaments. The first one is the timing. When is it happening? The second one is location. Is it suitable for you? Then there is time control. And finally, your eligibility. Can you play the event? When we talk location, it is usually happening in one of the bigger centers. There are more events in bigger cities. Most of them are in Dublin. Timing, of course, does the weekend when it is planned suit you or not? Time control means that the tournaments can be blitz, rapid or standard. Usually one-day events are blitz or rapid, because only those can finish within one day. Rapid and blitz tournaments are really good for most beginners, and I highly recommend that you consider starting with those. If it is more time and days, which you will see in the event description, it is usually a standard tournament. Typically these games last around 3 hours or even more. Now, of course, beginners might finish a little bit faster. These tournaments in Ireland are often weekenders, and you'll see them going from typically Friday to Sunday, or during bank holiday weekends from Sunday to Monday. Last question that you need to look at is, can you play? Most of the tournaments are welcoming to beginners and all are welcoming to juniors. If there are words open, congress, festival, or classic, everyone is welcome to these tournaments, assuming they apply on time and there is still room and capacity to play. Juniors are never excluded from tournaments because they are juniors. Some championships have specific requirements though, whether you are a member of a certain club or you have a certain rating, but junior championships are open to all. Now that you found the right tournament with the right time control, in the right timing, in the right place that you believe that suits you, some things might still confuse you. You open the tournament site and guess what? There are a couple of sections there. This is what I want to clarify now. Before I mentioned that you can freely participate in anything that's called Open, Congress, Festival, or Classic. Any men, women, kids, players at their prime, and senior citizens can freely participate in those. One of those is slightly different, and let me start with that. That is the one that's called Open Tournament. All players are placed in one group, and that one will be very easy for you to register because you just click register and pay the fee. Every player, no matter how strong or weak they are, can participate and can even meet each other within that tournament. That also means that you can face much weaker or much stronger opponents. Primarily this will happen in round one. A beginner can play against a master, which sometimes doesn't make much sense. You could have traveled for an hour and a half and then finished the game in 20 minutes because it's so imbalanced. That is not amazing for any of the two sides that have played that game. That is why most of the games are not open, but they are section based. So Congress, Festival, or Classic tournament is usually section based, and that's why you will find several groups of players where you can apply and register to the place you are interested in. This gives every player that participates in such event games against players of similar strength. Good games. Usually you will find 3 to 4 sections in this type of tournaments. I really like this model. I consider it's very good because it gives you good, strong games that you need to grow and progress. Once your level is ready to go up, you will simply move up to the next level, unless you are of course already in the Masters section. Section names are usually Masters, Championships, Majors, and Challengers, where there is always room for a few beginners more. You can also find there some rating rules. Masters are usually above 1900 ICU or FIDE rating or both. Brackets are in place for mid-sections, so you'll see something like 1800 to 1950 or something alike. Challengers only have the top section, so you can't be a very strong player and play in challengers because you would easily win and you would almost unfairly win the prize there. Beginners should start in lowest challengers. If you think you're too good, there is no risk in playing challengers, and you'll probably not be allowed to play in a higher section unless the organizer specifically agrees that for you. If you're too good anyhow and you start in challengers, you'll probably win some kind of a prize, your rating will climb fast, and you will also very soon move to a higher level. How do you register for a tournament in Ireland? What are the clear next steps? It is so easy to register online on the ICU website. Firstly, you find the tournament, as we talked, then you find the relevant section, and eventually you choose the option waged or unwaged. This one confused me a bit at the beginning. Waged simply means you're salaried, you're an adult. Unwaged primarily refers to children and students. You get the right option in the blue box, you pay the fee, and you are in there. Many Irish tournaments have an early bird discount, and it does really make sense for you to look at it and register early. Walk-in registrations are possible. So you remember on the day you want to play, you want to come there. In some cases, it might be a challenge because lately, believe it or not, some tournaments are sold out days or even weeks before the beginning of the tournament. So it is a little bit of a risk. I highly recommend registering online. It does also help the organizer knowing the numbers up front. When you did your registration online, you are entered in pairings, and the only thing you need to do is appear on the tournament. So no further confirmations are needed. I simply recommend appear a few minutes early to figure it out, to find your seat and be ready when the tournament starts. If you can't play a round in the tournament, you can ask for a bye, but it has to happen before the pairing is done. Very often in weekend tournaments, people do that for the Friday evening tournament because they simply can't make it. You will be getting half a point for that, for the one bye in the tournament that you get. The next one will mean 0 points. The tournaments generally do start timely, but sometimes walk-ins stall the whole thing. If people are registering 15 minutes before the start of the tournament, there is obviously a little bit of a delay. But no worries, till round 2 usually everything is fine and things do start in time. Also, if you figure out last minute that you can't play, it is really good manners to let the arbiters know. You don't want someone to be waiting for you for 30 minutes and eventually not get their game because you simply turned around and left, maybe even for the right reasons. Some tournaments, I have to say, require ICU membership. What does that mean? In some tournament details, you will see that only ICU members can participate in the tournaments. That will be the case also in chess leagues. How do you sort that out? Very easy. Membership you can sort out also on the ICU website. Some clubs do sort it for you if you are a member, but in principle you sort it on ICU website. You simply go there, you find a tab called Shop, and you find ICU subscription fees. They go and they range from 20 euros for children to 35 for adults at this stage. For some new children, they even offer a discount. When you are a paid member, you get ICU rating login, so you can even follow your rating and see the rating details on the ICU website. Apart from FIDE rating, there is also the ICU rating. You might have wondered why both? Why don't all just use a simple international rating for all tournaments? Well, the thing is that beginners are a challenge for FIDE. Most beginners simply don't have FIDE rating. So what? They are all the same level? Not really. Beginners might be worth 700 rating or 1300 rating, and FIDE would treat them all as simply unrated. The idea is still, even to beginners, giving them good games and fair tournaments. What is good in Ireland, after the first event you play, and the first one you're obviously unrated on, you will already have your provisional rating, and you will not seem unrated or be unrated in the tournaments. FIDE is so much stricter. Some tournaments you can't even rate because they are more than 8 hours of games per day. Like in many Irish traditional weekenders, 3 games a day in standard tournaments would never be allowed to be FIDE rated. Also, some tournaments and some tournament organizers are not FIDE rated, despite the fact that they do everything right, but they don't want to pay the FIDE fees. So in many countries, what you can see is kids who played 200 tournaments and don't have a FIDE rating. And that is simply not giving the valid picture. So national union ratings are very, very important. Enough about FIDE ratings. Let's talk briefly about ICU ratings. ICU is standard rating only, so you will not be rated in ICU for rapid or blitz games. I personally really like the ICU model because it quickly catches up the strength of your play. So if you have a great tournament even as a beginner, you might immediately get bonus points and progress very quickly with your ratings. This is really not the case with FIDE, and it takes you a while for your strength to be caught up by your rating. In Ireland, I got in 2 tournaments 100 points, which can't really happen in FIDE tournaments. So I quickly got the rating that was more relevant for my playing strength. Most events in Ireland will be both ICU and FIDE rated, and in tournament details you will see this under FIDE and ICU rated node. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you navigate the Irish chess landscape. If useful, please share your comments, consider subscribing and sharing with your friends. Also, feel free to say hi. I'm often playing indie tournaments around Ireland. All links I mentioned are in the description. More similar content is going to come every week. Friday is the plan of incoming videos. Next 2 videos I'm going to cover are around international championships for kids and about FIDE chess ratings.